Have you ever noticed that people who are the most helpful, the most reliable, and the most useful are often the most exhausted people in the room? They're the ones that everyone calls when something goes wrong. They solve problems, they carry the team, they fix the family drama, they show up early and they stay up late. And yet somehow they are the ones who feel the most invisible. Because here's the truth that no one talks about. If you spend your life becoming useful to everyone else, you might slowly become useless to yourself. So today we're going to talk about why being useful can destroy your peace, your time, your identity, and even your life. And most importantly, how do you break that pattern? And we're going to dive right in. The hidden trap of being the useful one. From a very young age, most of us learn something extremely dangerous, that our value comes from being useful to others. Maybe you were the responsible child, or the one who helped your parents, the one teachers relied on, or the one your friends came to for advice. You see, being useful gets you praise, appreciation, and belonging. But over time, something subtle happens. People stop seeing you as a person and start seeing you as a resource. You become the person who solves problems, picks up the slack, carries emotional labor, and keeps everything running smoothly. And eventually, your identity becomes tied to what you do for others, not who you are. The dangerous psychology of usefulness. There's a psychological concept called usefulness value. It means someone values you for what you do and not for who you are. And once people start to value you this way, they stop asking, "How are you?" and start asking, "How can you help me?" You become the go-to person for advice, favors, emotional support, and for solving problems. But here's the problem. If people only value you when you're useful, then the moment you stop being useful, you start to feel replaceable. And that creates a dangerous cycle. So you work harder, you help more, you say yes more, you sacrifice more. Because deep down, you're afraid that if you stop being useful, then people might stop needing you. The cost that no one talks about. But here's what being useful costs you. Your time, your energy, your mental peace, and your boundaries. You become the person who answers messages late at night, who fixes everyone's problems, who listens to everyone's stress and carries responsibilities that aren't even yours. And eventually you wake up realizing something shocking. You've spent years building a life where everyone depends on you. And the worst part, you may not even know who you are outside of being useful. Because when your identity is built on helping others, rest starts to feel like guilt. And saying no starts to feel selfish, even when it's exactly what you need. You see, the most powerful people are not the most useful. Here's something interesting. The people with the strongest boundaries often appear less useful. They don't answer every request, they don't fix every problem, and they don't carry responsibilities that don't belong to them. And because of that, people actually respect their time more. Because when someone is always available, their time starts to feel cheap. But when someone protects their time starts to seem valuable. In other words, the goal in life is not to be the most useful person in the room. The goal in life is to know when to help and when to step back. So how do you break this pattern? Realize that breaking this pattern doesn't mean being selfish. It means becoming intentional. Here are 3 powerful shifts. Number 1, stop volunteering for emotional labor. You don't have to fix every problem that someone shares with you. Sometimes the healthiest response is to simply say, "I'm sorry you're going through that." And realize that not every problem is yours to fix. Number 2, let people solve their own problems. When you constantly rescue people, you unconsciously train them to depend on you. But growth happens when people figure things out themselves. You're not responsible for everyone's outcomes. And number 3, redefine your worth. Your value is not measured by how helpful you are, how available you are, and how much you sacrifice. Your value comes from who you are and not how useful you can be. And when you stop trying to be useful, something amazing happens. You get your time and your peace back. And most importantly, you start building relationships with people who value you for who you are, not just what you do for them. And those relationships, those are the ones that actually last. So here's something I want you to think about today. When in your life have you been too useful? Where have you been carrying responsibilities that were never yours? And what would happen if you started protecting your time just a little bit more? And if this video resonated with you, then do like and hit the subscribe button. It makes a difference and it keeps me going. See you in the next one.